Good morning, all of you. Today, we will start about the last type of the tissue, that is nervous tissue. The last type of tissue, nervous tissue. Nervous tissue. This tissue, which are present in our nervous system, this tissue, which is the last type of all the different types of the tissues which are present in our body, out of which the last one in our study, in our syllabus, first is the epithelial tissue, second one is the connective tissue, third one is the muscular tissue, and now the last, that is nervous tissue, which is the last point of this chapter. Nervous tissue is specially made by the two types of the cell. Nervous tissue, which is made by the two types of the cell. The first one, neurons, and second, glia cells, neuron cells, and glia cells. Neuron is the most important, highly specialized cells. It is the most important and highly specialized cells. Does not have a power of division. It does not divide as like the other cell. We know that the cell division is the common factor in each and every cell, but it is a highly specialized cell. So that's why the structural and functional unit of nervous system is known as the neurons. It is the most important, frequently asked question in a CET examination. The structural and functional unit of nervous system known as the neurons. Neuron is the highly specialized cells. Along with the neurons, the another type of this cell, that is a glia cells, are also present. These glia cells having a power of division as like the common cells, but the neurons does not have a power of division. Now, what kind of structure? Neuron is the most highly specialized and complicated structure. Neuron cell is the largest cell, longest cell compared to the any other type of the cells. All the types of this cell which is present inside the universe, inside the each and every microorganisms, organisms, animals, plants, out of which the most longest cell as compared to other cells or all of these cells, the neuron is the most longest cells of the environment or inside the organisms. Now the neurons, it consists of that kind of arrangements. So here is the arrangements. It consists of these processes or branching like structure which are known as dendrons. Just look at it, it is the most important structure which is also available in a neural control and coordination chapter. So at that times, here you have to remember one of these small concepts about the structure of the neurons. So these projections or these branching like structures, just I can write here the neuron cells. Here is the glia cells. It consists of that branching projections or processes which are known as the dendrons. These dendrons play very important role. What is the role of nervous tissue? Nervous tissue is responsible to receive the stimulus or the impulse from outside and passing into the central nervous system. Also, to give the message from the central nervous system, which is also passing to the sensory organs or to the outermost region. So here, the dendrons play a very important role to receive the stimulus. So dendron is responsible to receive the stimulus or nerve impulses from the outside or from the sense organ. These dendrons, inside the dendrons, here, the innermost cavity or the structure which is known as the cyton. So here is the structure of cyton. Inside the cyton, the central nucleus is present. The cyton body, dendrons or dendrites, the innermost cavity which consists of the cytoplasma and the nucleus. This cytoplasma which are known as the neuroplasma. So that cytoplasma is known as the neuroplasma. This whole structure is known as the cyton. Cyton consists of the dendrites or dendrons which receive the stimulus, the receiving of stimulus, and this whole structure is known as the cyton, in which the central nucleus is present. Now, after receiving the stimulus become passing towards the cyton, and from the cyton, then it will be transported through the extension. Here is the long tube-like extension. That extension is known as the axon. So here is the known as axon. Axon. So the neuron cells, still we study about the neuron cells. It consists of the dendrons, the finger-like projections, the processes, long processes which receive the stimulus. Inside that, the cyton body become present. Cyton consists of the nucleus and the cytoplasm, which are known as the neuroplasm. These receiving stimulus become passing. That means that cytoplasma become extended. So here is the cytoplasma become extended with the help of the long extension, which is known as the axon. It is the longest extension to passing the cytoplasm or neuroplasm. Then this axon consists of that kind of sheath or covering, but that covering is not continuous. So here is the covering is present on the surface of the axon. That covering is not continuous, and this covering is known as the myelinated sheath. Here is the myelinated sheath. This myelinated sheath play a very important role as an insulating material, as a shock absorber, as an insulating material. It is a myelinated sheath. This myelinated sheath is prepared by these cells. Here I just draw in a red color. These cells, here is the nucleus. These cells are known as the Schwann cells. So this Schwann cells is responsible for myelinated sheath. This Schwann cell is responsible for preparation of myelinated sheath. Just like a nomenclature, Schwann cells. So look at it. One more time, just repeat all of these things. Here is the nervous tissue. Nervous tissue is present in our nervous system. Nervous tissue is responsible to receive the stimulus or the nerve impulses from the sense organ passing towards the central nervous system. Nervous tissue consists of the two types of the cell, neuron cells and glia cells. Neuron cells is the most important cells, highly specialized, does not perform the process of division. So this neuron is the structural and functional unit of nervous system. Neuron cells having a special kind of this structure, which is the longest cell. This structure consists of the dendrons, that is the projections. Inside the dendrons, the cyton become present. Cyton, it consists of the central nucleus. The cytoplasma is known as the neuroplasma, and these dendrons which receive the stimulus. Stimulus means the any kind of the cells which is received by the skin, which is nothing but the stimulus, and which is received by these dendrons. So these dendrons passing this stimulus with the help of the cytoplasma, that is neuroplasma. This neuroplasma become extended by the extension known as the axon. This axon covering the sheath which is called as the myelinated sheath, but this sheath is not continuous. Some gap is present. Look at that gap is present in between the sheath and this sheath, myelinated sheath, which act as the shock absorber or insulating material. This myelinated sheath is prepared by the special kind of the cells which are known as the Schwann cells. Here is the one and Schwann cells. Now, the gap between these myelinated sheath, this gap is known as node of Ranvier. Node of Ranvier. The most important or different kinds of the names become observed in this structure. Schwann cells, axon, node of Ranvier, myelinated sheath or myelin. Then this end point of axon, it is distributed in this way and it consists of knob-like structure at its end point. This knob-like structure or that last end point which are known as the axon bulb end or axon end bulb. This axon end bulb, this is nothing but the last point of this structure of neurons. These neurons in which the stimulus become received by the dendrons or dendrites, passing through the cytoplasma of axon and reaching finally to the axon end bulb or axon bulb end, which is also known as the telodendrils. So this axon bulb end receiving the stimulus and passing to the another nerve cells or another neuron. In this way, this stimulus become passing from one cell to the another cell, one cell to the other cell, and finally then it is reached to the central nervous system. Then this specific neuron, which consists of the many dendrons and single axon, which are known as the multipolar neuron. Multipolar neuron. So according to these dendrites and axon, these neuron again divided into the different types like bipolar neuron. Here is the central body or cell body, and here is the dendrons and axon. That is a bipolar neuron. Second one is multipolar neuron, in which here is the cell body, many dendrites and single axon. Third one is pseudo unipolar neuron. Here is the one cell body, here is the axon, which is divided in this way, that is a pseudo unipolar neuron. And finally unipolar neuron means here is the only the one way and very small or minute cell body, that is a unipolar neuron. So in this way, all of these concepts, the types of the neuron according to their presence of dendrons or dendrites and axons, there are different types of these neurons. So these neurons, who is the most important cell of the nervous system or inside the nervous tissue, according to this sheath, myelinated sheath, which act as the insulating material or shock absorber. These are again